The Padsmith IEM. Let's talk about it. Now, this is a titanium coated dynamic driver IEM from a new company that normally does mouse pads. It costs about $115. We're going to start by looking at the build quality of this IEM, and a huge shout out to Omar from Audio Amigos for letting me borrow this IEM. This is not mine, this is his, and I appreciate his time to let me borrow things. Let's look at the build quality, then go from there. You know, this is a really nice shell. It's like a purple resin with kind of a black faceplate sort of thing going on, like the edges are black. And it's overall a very nice fitting, small, form-fitting style IEM. I like this shell a lot. It has a ribbed nozzle, meaning ear tips are easy to keep on it. There's a little bit of a wing here. It's a little bit pronounced, but it wasn't uncomfortable in ear. And you got kind of this purpley resin shell, but it's a light, delicate purple. So you don't really notice it at first. It kind of looks black with just kind of hues. And so the purple just kind of pops every once in a while, which is a fun. It's a flat 2-pin cable connector. It's a pretty faceplate, and it's a nice overall IEM shell. I have no problems with it. I think it's one of the better IEM shells at this price. These are the included tips. They come in a nice little case, but you know, nothing too special. Now, this case is quite special, actually. I've actually know a lot of people like this case. This is the same case that The Audio uses with just a different name on it. Anyone can fight me on it. I've opened a lot of The Audio IEMs in my day. You can tell by my ranking list, and this is that case. And this is a massive value add to those people that like this case. The cable has nice little right, red, blue, left dots on this. The cable is light and thin, which is good. It has a functioning chin slider for those that need it that stays in place. The Y split is unbranded. The cable itself feels thin. You have a Padsmith branded 3.5 millimeter connection at the end. So how does this IEM sound? It sounds nice in ears, has a nice warmth and breath to it. It's really not far off what a lot of people call the JM1 target. And it does a lot of things well, especially for a first IEM that's come out. I like this IEM. I'm not going to shamelessly hype it, and I don't love it. I think there's better options at a little bit higher price. We're going to compare this to a lot of IEMs since this is Padsmith's first IEM, and then we'll kind of go from there as you can kind of see the progression. But overall, the sonic qualities of it, it's a nice little set with nice drivers, but nothing too spectacular. All right, let's look at the Padsmith IEM's graph. I mean, overall, it's not too bad. It's kind of this a little bit of a bassy set with nice upper mids and overall really nice FR graph. And I mean, if you're looking at a great FR and you're looking for a reasonable price IEM with great build quality, this could be a real good winner for you. And so I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to rip on this IEM, but I'm trying to talk about its place in the overall structure of the market and how I view it, rather than just being like, IEM good, go buy it. I just want to do comparisons to it. But you'll notice a lot of 8K. You'll notice not a ton of treble extension, not a ton of sub bass, a little bit extra mid bass, which, you know, it's not bad. But I mean, if you normalize this at, you know, actually at 500, what do you notice? It's just maybe a little bit of treble. I mean, it's not a bad FR by no means. We're going to compare this to a few other IEMs, then, you know, kind of go from there. The first one I want to compare this to is the Binary Dynaquattro. You know, the Dynaquattro, it just has a few minor things, like a little bit more upper mids, a little bit of bass, and that kind of helps the vocals pop here a little bit more and a little bit more extension. The Binary Dynaquattro to me sounds a lot better and is a lot more fun. It kind of hits the right levels of a V. It's like the Padsmith is almost like going for a neutral set, or like almost taking every single signature and trying to do that well rather than trying to do one thing well. It's almost like it tries a too broaden, almost like audio AI style approach, and it just kind of comes across as a little bit dead, neutral, and not terrible. One IM that kind of reminds me of it a little bit is the Jazeera 61T. Now, I like the 61T, and you'll notice a lot of similarities in their FR. I would give it to the Jazeera 61T. I just feel like it sounds better in ear, and like it has more drivers and a few other things going on, and like its technicalities are better. But sometimes this tuning can come across like a little bit incorrect and a little bit muffled and a little bit off to people, so it's hard to pull off the right tuning sometimes, even if it like is very close to my target like that. It's like a guideline. And so like the Padsmith IM does do some things well, but it doesn't have a lot of sub bass, you know, and its extension and details and micro details aren't super good. And you know, like the reason I'm showing stuff like the Jazeera 61T and the Binary Dyna Quattro is that these are IMs of last year that I think are better than the Padsmith. And you go on the used market and you might be able to find these for 150, 140, something like that. So just for a little bit more, you might be able to get something better, and they eventually will go on sale. So it's just something to note. I mean, another one to look at is the Kiwi Ears 4. Now the Kiwi Ears 4 does sound really good in ear, and I would say it's better overall with better technicalities. But you'll notice how many similarities that they have in their FR graph, like a little bit more upper mids in the Padsmith, a little bit more air and detail in the Kiwi Ears 4, a little bit more sub bass in the KE4. They very well trade blows, and the fact that the Padsmith IM is coming at this close, I think it's impressive. But I mean, if you want to talk FR graph, one thing to look at. All right, so one thing to look at would be if we look at the KZ EDC Pro. And I mean, and that's the thing, is like this is like a $10 IEM, and they're not that different. You know, the KZ EDC Pro has a little bit more upper mids, and so like the issue is like you either save up and get a little bit of a better set, or you go cheap and get a really cheap set. So like the Padsmith IEM is in this weird kind of limbo land with a lot of other IEMs that doesn't really have a strong identity and a strong tuning, but is overall solid. I mean, for me at 120, if you're going to be like, you know, Jaytis, what do you recommend? AFU Explorer every time. You can get it on sale for like $95. Comes with a great cable, nice little case. Is it the same as the Padsmith IM? No, but I think sonically it's much stronger, and it's a really easy recommend at its price. And I think maybe not benchmark, because I don't think it's going to be for everyone, but it has a lot of great qualities and characteristics that make it a lot more fun and a little bit easier to recommend over the Padsmith. Another one to recommend is the Letsura S08, which is around $80. That's also from last year. Great cable, great case, great sound. I mean, both of these are like about the same price or less than the Padsmith. And what you'll notice is that like, I know Audio Amigo, he really likes the AFU Explorer, and he really likes the S08. And so that's like, you know, for anyone who want to watch his videos, like, you know, the Padsmith has some things in quality and characteristic, but for cheaper, you can get slightly better IEMs. And so like the Padsmith becomes almost like a branding question. Like, do you want the Padsmith IEM because it's Padsmith? Like, are you a huge Padsmith fan because you like their mouse pads? Do you want to get the first gaming IEM that they came out with? And like that's where I see the appeal of this set, not in itself. Almost like a branding thing. Like, I'm repping a Padsmith IEM and it's pretty good. Yeah, I mean it's pretty good, but it's not really good, and it may not be the most detailed, clean, technical IEM for its price, but it's definitely not bad, and that's kind of what I'm trying to say. Another IEM that I really like, the RTT10 Pro planars, are infamous, and there's a lot of other planars out there that have a little bit different tonality, but they're infamous for just having this really great technicality sound, great detail, great resolution almost to them, and a lot of people really like them. And I think that the RTT10 Pro is even cheaper than all those, and to me it's a really strong recommendation, and it's something to consider if you know, you're in the market just for a cheaper IEM. I will say that the Padsmith has a great fit and a lot of great things about it. If you can save up a little bit of money, you know, if you're already in the market for 120 and you're like, okay, what's a better IEM that I can get? To me, like, if I had to say like how much better is the AFU P7, I would guess like 50% better. for me and my ears, I really like the Awful P7. I can listen to the Awful P7 without it driving me crazy. I find it super pleasant, super pleasing with good sub bass, good bass overall, not too shouty, clean, clear, and detailed. And I think it's a really nice set that's not too much more. I mean, it'll probably go on sale, you know, maybe here in 6 months or so, or maybe 3 months. You can see them used every once in a while for a little bit cheaper. It is twice the price, but for me, and again, we're just talking my opinion. If you want to go cheap, go KZ EDC Pro or this next one that I'm going to show you, or save up, get the Awful P7, which is a little bit better for not a ton more money, depending on what you want. Another one to think about is the Tantrum Bunny. To me, these pretty much rank it the same way. Like the Tantrum Bunny is a little bit more mid-focused, and it's just kind of a little bit more of a chill set. I kind of would go that way if I was going to go for an IEM. I think it has a little bit more contrasty tuning. I think it's really cheap. I think it's a good set. You can get a USB-C cable, or if you need that, or just a regular 3.5. It's just a solid, nice budget option for you guys to try if that's what you so want to do. All right, so how do I rank this guy? I mean, I rank this guy up in a solid manner. I think it's fine. I think it's okay. I think it's a solid little set without a ton of the great things going on. I mean, solid bass, 9 bass. It's clean. It's good. It's fun. It's nice and dynamic. Its mids are fine. They're not shouty or too much. But there isn't a lot of detail. There's not a lot of air. There's not a lot of expression. Its imaging and micro details aren't great, but its note weight and its space around you for like use of gaming or things like that are pretty good. And so I think for our gaming guys that really want something good, I think this would get a recommendation. What would I recommend? Again, I talked about a few. You can see a few others, but I mean, if you scroll up here, you're going to see stuff like the RTT10 Pro, which I think is good. I also really like the Awful Explorer, which I think compete with sets that are a lot more expensive. That's just my take on what might be some good options for you guys and kind of how I feel about this IEM overall. This is a solid IEM. It's pretty. It fits well in ear. It sounds nice. I think it has a unique place in the market, and I can see how people would like it. Does it become one of those IEMs that I would default recommend to people? No. It becomes one of those IEMs that I'm going to tell you, if you want to buy it, buy it. It's kind of like, I don't really rate things on like 1 to 5 stars. I think for packaging, I would give this 5 stars. I think for sound, I would give this like a 3 for its price. I think it's good. I want something with a little bit more air, a little bit more detail, a little bit more incisiveness and crispiness. It feels like it's just, it's not a bad set. But as far as like full-blown recommendation, I think there's a lot of better value sets out there, despite this having a beautiful packaging. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Oh, you're expecting a teaser for our next video. Well, we don't have that kind of money. What are you expecting? One of those store reviewers to show up in a saucy little leather number? Go. Oh, I can tell you one thing. We are going to have a collab video. We have no idea what it's going to be. Probably Kryn, maybe Chris, or Joyce. Don't deny it. She's got range. Go. Get out of here.
Go.
Go!
Go.
Go on with you!